Felicia, Lila, Cameron, Aubrey, Addison, Emma, and Maddie. We miss you all so much. We can't wait to get back in the gym for you guys. In the meantime, we've put together a at-home workout video for you. We'll see you soon. We hope you're staying active and healthy.
Hi, Abigail, Felicia, Lila, Cameron, Addison, Aubrey, Emma, and Maddie. We miss you all so much. We cannot wait to get back in the gym for you guys. In the meantime, we put together a workout video just for you. We hope you guys are staying healthy and staying active, and we will see you guys very soon.
Hi, Abigail, Felicia, Lila, Cameron, Aubrey, Addison, Emma, and Maddie. We all miss you guys so much, and we hope that you and your families are staying safe during this super crazy time for everybody. We can't wait to get back in the gym with you guys so we can start training again. But in the meantime, we put together a workout for you guys so that you guys can complete at home. So in the meantime, we hope you guys are staying safe, and we will see you guys soon.
So this is going to be a follow-along video, so make sure you're wearing something you can do gymnastics in, and you're in a spot where you can safely do gymnastics, a nice flat open space. If you have some empty wall space that you can put your feet on, so you can practice some handstands and stuff like that there, that would be awesome. We are gonna go over all 4 events today. We're gonna do it in Olympic order, so that we'll start with vault, bars, beam, and floor. We're gonna go over some skills and drills on each event that are gonna help you stay in shape, keep your skills up, and they're also going to help you with those new skills, those upgraded skills that you will need for gold and for diamond. So before we get started, I just wanted to share with you a few resources I have found online that I thought you guys might want to check out. And I have also included links in the email that went out to your parents, so they have it as well. The first one is a website called Gymnastics HQ. So it's just the word gymnastics, the letter H, the letter Q.com. It's run by a woman who was a former gymnast and a coach, and now she's a judge. And it's a website made specifically for gymnasts. So it's not for coaches, it's for gymnasts. Just like you guys, it has lots of good resources there on training stuff you can do at home. So if you're interested, check it out. It's a super good resource. The next one is a gymnastics club called Gotham Gymnastics, G-O-T-H-A-M, Gotham Gymnastics in New York City. And Monday through Friday, they have been doing Instagram Live workouts that you can do at home. And they also have been having Q&As with Miss Val and former college and Olympic athletes. They've had Kyla Ross on there, they've had Madison Koshin on there. So I thought you girls might want to check that out. They have all the old workouts and interviews they've done on their YouTube page. So if you look up Gotham Gymnastics on Instagram or YouTube, you can find all that stuff there. So before we get started on our events, we're just gonna go over a quick little warm-up and stretching that you girls can do. If you remember your whole entire meet warm-up, the running and the stretching, you can do that if you want, but you do not have to do that whole thing, especially every day. Maybe if you wanna practice it once a week, so you can make sure you still remember it, but no problem if you forget it. Just wanna make sure we do a couple stretches before we get started. So we're just gonna start stretching our wrists, and we want our fingers to point towards us, and we're just gonna hold it for 10 seconds, and you can kind of rock back and forth like I'm doing, and you should feel the stretch right here. Okay, now we're gonna turn our fingers forward, and we're leaning forwards and backwards. And now you should feel it kind of in the front part of your arm and your wrist as well. Okay, and then if there's any other stretches you want to do to stretch your wrists, you can go ahead and do those now. We're going to go to our pike and stretch our ankles like we usually do. Girls, when you do this, remember your legs should be straight and your toes should be pointed. We can't forget about that just because we're stretching. It still wants to look pretty. Let's do our other one. Remember to point your toes, squeeze your leg, Okay, now we're gonna do our Achilles. And we're just gonna hold it for 8 seconds, like we do in our warm-up with a straight leg. Okay, now we're gonna bend it. Girls, when you're doing this stretch, you're trying to push your heel as flat as you can to the floor. Mine isn't all the way flat, yours doesn't have to be either, but you should feel the stretch right back here. Okay, let's switch to our other leg with a straight leg. And let's bend it. Remember, we feel the stretch right here in the back of our legs. Okay, now we're gonna point our toes, do our up and downs, 8 of them. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're gonna do our circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're gonna move on to our splits. If you girls need to do any other wrist or ankle exercises, go ahead and pause the video. For your splits, girls, if you already have your splits down on the floor and it doesn't hurt very much, it doesn't feel like it's really stretching you that great, practice your over splits. You can put your foot up on a pillow or up on a book, up on a couch. So whatever you need to do so you feel like you're getting a good stretch. If you feel a good stretch just doing your splits on the floor, awesome. If you feel like you need to put it up on a raised surface to do your over split, then go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna start with my right leg. You can start with your left if you want. We're gonna go to our lunge. Hold it for 8, like we always do. Grab our back leg. Remember, we're trying to turn our front foot out, okay, when we do this. Okay, straight leg, trying to get our nose to our knee. You should feel the stretch right here in the back of your leg. Okay, slide into your split, go as far as you can. We're gonna hold it for 30 seconds. The last 10, we're gonna put our arms up. Okay, ready? We're gonna put our arms up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Okay, now I'm gonna do my left leg, so do your other leg. Go to your lunge, turn that foot out. Grab your back leg. Straighten your front leg, nose to your knee. And slide into your split as far as you can. Remember, I'm doing mine on the floor, but you can do yours on a raised surface for your over splits. We're gonna hold this one for 30 seconds again and put our arms up for the last 10 seconds. Okay, ready? Arms up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Shake it out. Get ready for your middle split. Girls, if you have a line or something at home, like a low beam, that you can do your middle split on, that is a really good way to make sure your legs are in a straight line, they're not lopsided. So I'm gonna do mine on this line right here, and we're going to hold it for 30 seconds, okay? Let's go. Now, if you have yours down, you're trying to get your belly flat instead of your elbows like me. Make sure our toes are pointed, our legs are straight. We got about 10 more seconds. Almost done. 5 more seconds. Good job, and let's come out. All right, if there's any more wrists or ankles or Achilles or leg stretches you want to do, go ahead and pause the video and do them now. And we are going to practice our bridges. Now, girls, I know some of your backs have been bothering you. So if your back is bothering you a lot, don't do a lot of bridges. Take it easy. You're gonna wanna do some. You don't wanna go 2 months without doing a bridge, but if it hurts, don't do it every day. Maybe just once a week, once every 2 weeks. You know what you should be doing. Just take it easy if it hurts. So for your bridges, you can do those on the ground like we usually do. One thing I want to show you is pushing your shoulders against a wall. If you don't have a wall, it could be like against a couch. So like I could push them against this mat right here. So I'm going to show you against the wall. So your goal, you're trying to keep your legs straight, your hands shoulder width apart. They don't want to be super far apart. And remember, our fingers have to be facing forward. They don't want to be turned in or turned out. And we're trying to push our armpits to the mat. So you're just trying to bridge up and push your armpits all the way to the mat. Trying to get your armpits flat and your nose to touch the mat. That's going to work your shoulder muscles right here. So that is another way you can stretch your bridges at home. If you have room, you can kick over out of your bridge. Make sure you hold your lunge, your arms are by your ears, and then press open to your finish. So that's what we're gonna go over for stretches today. If there's anything else you feel like you need to do before we get started on vault, go ahead and do that now. All right, girls, so we're gonna get started on vault. Now for vault, for gold, the vault you are working on is doing a front handspring over the vault table, and Maddie, you are working on twisting your front handspring. So for your vault, you girls already kind of know this from doing your front handspring over the mat stack, but when you're doing your front handspring, you wanna make sure you're blocking. As soon as you get to your handstand, as soon as your body looks just like this in a perfect handstand, that's when you want to block off the table, so then you have nice height and distance, and then you land it. So we're going to practice our handstand pops. These are super helpful for that block off the table. So I'm sure you girls remember, we do these almost every time we go to vault. Remember, we're trying to block through our shoulders, pushing tall, not by bending our elbows. Our block has to come from our shoulders, not our elbows. So I'm going to show you one just in case you forget, and then you girls can try. So make sure we're pushing through our shoulders and we're reaching out as far as we can. Your arms want to start down and you're reaching out. So I'm reaching out and I'm finishing. So I want you girls to go ahead, pause the video, and try 10 of those. Okay, so after our handstand blocks, Maddie, you twist off the table after you block. And girls, all of you, eventually, when you get to the higher levels, you'll be twisting your vault as well. So if you want to try this, you can. So Maddie, to help with your twist, I know we can't do your actual vault, but I want you to practice jump full turning, just staying on your feet, because that's going to help you with the twist. And I want you to try to see it if you can do it where you jump and drop your arm and then do the twist. So make sure you're jumping the way you twist for your vault here. So you're gonna try to have it look like this: jump, drop our arm, and come back around. Yours is gonna look prettier than mine because you're gonna practice it more than I do, but that's the idea. We're trying to jump, drop our arm, and turn. Girls, if you all wanna try that, you can, but Maddie, that's gonna be super helpful for you specifically for your handspring full vault. Okay? So after we do our handstand blocks, we do our jump full turns. Girls, try to do like 5 to 10 of those jump full turns. Trying to get it all the way around and making sure we're landing with our feet together. Another important part of our vault is our run. You girls know if your run is off, if you're a little slow, if your steps feel off, sometimes it's hard to have a great vault. Your vaults might feel a little off. So I just want you to practice your run. You're probably gonna have to go outside for this, so maybe do this at the end, watch the whole video and come back to it. But just practicing your run, running as fast as you can, making sure you're getting faster the closer you get to the vault. We don't wanna slow down. You can time yourself, you can race your brother or sister, but just making sure we're practicing our runs as well, because that is the first part of our vault, and you girls know if your run is off, your vault is a lot harder than it should be. So that's the first couple parts of our vault. The next thing we're gonna practice is holding a handstand against a wall, and we're gonna do it for 30 seconds with our belly against it, and then we're gonna do it for 30 seconds with our back against it. When we're doing these handstands, girls, I really want you to focus on pushing really, really tall in your shoulders and squeezing super tight so you're in a super straight line like a pencil. You wanna make sure your hips aren't sticking out, or your shoulders aren't sticking out, or your back is arched. Really focusing on being nice and straight. Because I know you girls can do handstands, you've been doing them forever, but we're trying to make them super awesome and super straight so we can block for our vault. So let's go to our wall, and we're gonna hold it with our belly against the wall for 30 seconds. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead. So we're trying to get all the way flat, pushing tall in our shoulders. I got my stopwatch here, we're 10 seconds in. Good job. Hide those ears, push tall, squeeze your booty, squeeze your legs. 10 more seconds, girls. All right, come on down. Nice job. So you can all do it for 30 seconds. If you can do it longer, if you can do 45 seconds or a minute, go ahead and challenge yourself. I just wanted to start with 30 seconds because we haven't been to the gym in a while. So that's the first one we're gonna do. The next one we're gonna do is with our back against it. Now when we do stuff with our back against the wall, it's really easy to have a small arch in your lower back. Make sure you're pulling your ribs in, squeezing your booty, pushing tall, looking at your hands, so you can be in a nice straight line. So we're gonna try it for 30 seconds against the wall. All right, here we go. So try to get your back and your shoulders flat against the wall. Push tall in your shoulders, squeeze your booty. Good job. We got about 10 more seconds, girls. 3, 2, 1, come on down. Finishing your lunch. Nice job. Okay, so those things you can easily do at home. I just did one of them right now. Feel free to do 2 of them or 3 of them. If you want to try to hold it for longer, that's awesome. Just make sure you're not doing too much. You don't want your wrists to be sore, or your back to be sore, or your head to be sore. So that is your handstands. Remember, our handstand is how we're gonna hit the vault, and that's where we block from. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna practice is the actual front handspring part of the vault. Now I know we can't actually do the front handspring vault because you don't have a vault table, but what you can do is a front limber, which is basically a slow motion front handspring. So a front limber, if you forget what it is, you start in a lunge, you kick up to your handstand, fall to a bridge, and then you stand up. Girls, remember when you stand up, your arms are trying to stay by your ears. They don't want to come out to the side, and we should be looking at our hands as we're coming up. So we don't want to come up like this or tuck our chin in. Make sure we're coming up like this. So that is something you should all be able to do at home. Make sure when you do your handstand, you're pushing super tall in your shoulders, and then you're trying to keep your feet together as you come up. So that's a front limber, something you can do at home. I know some of you girls have air tracks or trampolines at home, so you probably already practice this. So if you do have that, you girls can practice your fly springs. Remember, that's where you punch with your feet together and then you do your front handspring. So just like a front handspring, but instead of hurdling, you punch with your feet together. Same thing, arms stay by our ears as we come up, not out here. And we're looking at our hands as we come up. Okay, so all of those things are going to help keep your vaults consistent and help you work those upgraded vaults when we get back to the gym. Okay, so now we're gonna work on skills you can do at home to help with bars. If you have something like this is just PVC pipe, or if you have a floor bar, grab that. If you don't, no problem, you can do it without it. But if you happen to have something like that, you can go ahead and grab that. You're also gonna want something soft for you to land on, like a pillow or a couch cushion. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on our first skill, which is our kip. And you girls know for gold, we are working on our kips for our mount on bars. Cameron and Maddie, I know you girls already have your kips. You've competed your kips. This drill is still gonna be good for you girls. Cameron's gonna help you with keeping your arms straight in your kip. And Maddie, it's going to help you with keeping your feet in front when you do your kip. So we've done this before. We're gonna, if you have something you can hold on to, grab that. If not, it's okay. Lay down flat. So first part of our kip is we glide. Then we're gonna bring our toes to our bar. So we're gonna leg lift. Then we're gonna bring our bar down to our hips. And we sit up. Now girls, make sure when you sit up, your arms are staying straight. You don't wanna come up finishing like this, okay? Because when we go to do our kips, we don't wanna have bent arms. We wanna make sure our feet are in front of us. So let's try it again. We're gonna bring our toes up, sled the bar down, and finish. Good. I'm gonna show you how you can do it without that. It's the same thing. We just bring our toes to the bar, slide them down, stand up. Let's try 2 more of those. Ready, toes to the bar, slide down, sit up, arms are straight. And see how it looks like I'm holding on to an imaginary bar? So my hands are still doing the action as if I'm holding on to a bar, even though I'm not. Let's try 1 more. Toes to the bar, and sit up. So that is a really good drill you girls can do at home to work on your kips without having an actual bar. The next skill we are going to focus on is our squat on, because for gold, we need to go to the high bar. So in order to get to the high bar, you have to jump to the high bar from a squat on. So you do not need a bar for this. If you have a floor bar, you can use it. But you girls know this one is where we start in our push-up, and then we jump to our squat, and then we stand up, and we jump. Girls, make sure when you're coming up from your squat and you're balancing before you jump, you're really trying to get to that hollow shape, because when you jump to the bar, you want to catch it in a hollow shape. You don't want to catch it arched. Okay? So let's try that again. Jump our feet in and stand up. Okay, so now you're going to want to grab that squishy object, your pillow, your blanket, your couch cushion, something like that. I'm going to do it onto this mat right here. And this is to help you with a skill called a roundy round, which Maddie, I know you know what that is. Girls, you may not know. It's basically when you go to a squat on, and it's like a soul circle. You keep your hands on the bar, but instead of doing a dismount to your soul circle, you go all the way around back to your squat. So it's basically like you're going around the bar in a pike, then you finish in a squat, and then you jump. So imagine like you did a soul circle, but and your feet don't come off the bar. You just keep going till you finish here. So I'm going to show you first. I'm going to fall back onto the squishy mat. So we're going to go to our squat. Then we're going to straighten our legs. It's important that we keep our hands down, because we're holding onto a bar here. And you just fall back. Kind of like we've done before with working on your soul circles. So we go to our squat, straighten our legs, fall back. And look at how I'm finishing. My hands are still here because I'm holding onto a bar. I can't be back here. Let's try it one more time. Squat, straight legs, fall back. Okay, so that is another good one for your squat-ons and your roundy rounds. Okay, the next skill we're gonna focus on is our cast. And you girls know, as you get into higher levels in Xcel, your cast requirement gets a little bit bigger. So for gold, you're trying to get to horizontal. Maddie, you're trying to get almost to a handstand. So the first thing we're going to practice is we're gonna get to a push-up position. Girls, make sure your hands are forward when you're doing all these things. Your hands can't be sideways on bars. It's not gonna work out for you. Make sure your hands are forward. And you go to a push-up. I'm gonna show you this because we haven't done it before. And you're just focusing on jumping your heels up, like that. Trying to go as high as you can. And keeping a nice tight shape and keeping your shoulders over your wrists, because that's what you need to do in your cast. If you lean back, you're not gonna get all the way up in your cast. So let's try 5 of those. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're landing on your feet, not your knees. Okay, the next one we're gonna try is jumping our feet to a straddle. So we're in our push-up, and we just jump to a straddle, and we jump back. We're gonna do 5 of those. Jump to a straddle, jump back. Jump to a straddle, jump back. And girls, for your straddle, you can get your feet right next to your hands if you're flexible enough to hold a straddle like that. It doesn't need to be super wide. Jump to a straddle, jump back. Let's do one more. Jump to a straddle, jump back. And remember, we're holding onto a bar, so our feet need to be right next to our hands, so they're on the bar. Okay, so now that we've jumped to a straddle, we're gonna try to jump our feet up. So we're going push up, straddle, jump our feet up, okay? And eventually, the goal of that is to get to a handstand. Do you know why? Because that's a cast handstand. You can straddle into a cast handstand. So that's why we're doing this, to work on getting your cast higher. So I'll show you it again. Jump to your straddle, jump your feet up. Okay, and we're keeping our hips over our shoulders. Our hips don't want to go back here. They want to be in line. Girls, when you're doing this one, make sure you're being careful, keeping your arms straight. I don't want anyone bending their arms and crashing and falling on their head. So if you need to put something soft underneath you, like we just had before, a pillow to protect your head, go ahead and do that. Okay, so those are some good drills you can work on at home for your cast without a bar. The next one we're gonna do is called a back extension roll. So some of you may not be able to do this. You need to make sure you have a nice soft surface. You don't want to be doing it on hardwood floors, even the grass, it's gonna hurt a little bit. So if you have a mat, you have something soft, try this. If you don't, that's okay. This is going to be helpful for learning clear hips, which is what Maddie does on bars. So once you get to platinum and diamond, that's when you start doing clear hips. So I'm gonna show you it here, but you're gonna do it on a flat surface. So a back extension roll, you're trying to get all the way to a handstand. I'm just gonna show you a backward roll of straight arms to a push-up. That's where you wanna start. The more you work it, then you can try to get to that handstand. So remember, girls, when we're doing a backward roll, our hands turn in. We're trying to keep our arms straight and land in a push-up. Now, Maddie, especially for you, if you can do this at home and do the extension roll and open up to your handstand and turn your hands this way like you're on a bar, it's gonna help a lot with clear hip handstands. So that's just another thing you can do at home. If you don't, have the space for it, or you think your surface is too hard, don't do it. I don't want anyone hurting themselves doing this stuff at home. Okay, the next thing we're gonna practice is handstands again. Handstands are super important. They're on every event. So we're gonna go back to our wall space. And I'm gonna let you choose. You can do it with your belly or with your back against it. And if you can, I want you to try to do it on one arm. Now you don't have to do it on one arm the whole time, just as long as you can. You can switch arms, but see if you can do that. All right, we are gonna go ahead and kick up. So remember, you can do back or belly. It's your choice. All right, let's go to our wall and let's kick up. Push really tall, squeeze those feet. Halfway done. Almost done, girls, you can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come on down, and finish. Nice job. Handstands are super important because we're gonna learn a cast handstand one day, we're gonna learn giants one day, and you're gonna go through that handstand on the bar. So handstands are always super important. Okay, so that is all the stuff we're gonna do for our skills today on bars. We went over things to help us with our kips, our squat-ons, our casts, and our handstands. If you girls happen to have a bar at your house, I don't know, some of you might. Maybe you have one of the ones that goes in the doorway. You can practice pull-ups, chin holds. If you have like a mini bar, you can practice your pullovers and your back hip circles there, your glide swings, your casts. So if you do have that, awesome. Practice with it, utilize it. I know most of you probably don't, so all of this stuff you can do at home without having a bar. Okay, so those are all the skills we're gonna go over. 2 conditioning exercises that are really good for you girls to work on is your hollow holds. You know that's in a lot of skills on bars in our cast and our back hip circles, Maddie and your clear hip. So hollow body holds are really good. Also leg lifts. And I know we don't have a bar, but you can do them laying down just like we did with our hip drill. And if you want to hold something, like I'm gonna hold this bar, but you can hold the edge of something, like I could put my hands underneath here, or you could have someone standing up behind you and you could grab their ankles. It just makes it a little bit easier, and it's actually like you're holding onto a bar. So it's just like we did for our hip drill. We bring our toes up as high as we can. Remember, we don't want to bend our legs, so just go as high as you can and slowly come down, not slamming our feet on the floor. So try to hold your hollow hold for at least 30 seconds. Remember, we're trying not to grab our legs. We're squeezing our tummy muscles. If you can do it longer, awesome. And try to do 10 leg lifts in a row with nice straight legs. Just get them as high as you can. If you can't get them all the way up, keeping your legs straight, that's okay. So that's all the things we're gonna go over on bars today. Okay girls, so now we're going to work on beam. I know some of you might have a floor beam at your house. Maddie, I know you've told me you have a floor beam. If any of you have a floor beam, you can practice your skills on your floor beam. If you do not, you can use a line, you can make one out of tape. If you don't have a line, that's okay. You can just pretend you have a line and think about landing back on your beam. So before we get to our beam skills, we're gonna do a little beam warm up. You know how we usually do our toe raises and we hold on to the beam? We can't hold on to the beam, so we're gonna put our arms in crown. We're gonna do 50 toe raises, just like this. So we're gonna do 50 of them. Remember, we're going all the way up, all the way down, trying to keep our ankles together. And you're going to feel it in the back of your legs, right here. we're doing 50. Keep going till you're done. Nice, pretty cramp, straight legs. And remember, we're trying to go slow, as high as we can on our releve. We don't want to bounce up and down like this. All the way up, all the way down. Okay, when you are done with your 50, we're gonna do a squat for 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and hold our squat for 30 seconds. And girls, for this, you're gonna feel it in the back of your legs. We're doing this since we just worked out those muscles. Now we're stretching them out. And we're trying to get our heels flat. Okay, now we're gonna do a standing pike. For this, girls, we're trying to keep our legs straight and get our hands down as far as we can. If you can get them to the floor, flat with straight legs, awesome. If not, just reach as far as you can. We're holding this one for 30. You're gonna feel it in the back of your legs. Squeeze those legs nice and straight. Just reach as far as you can. Good job, almost done. 10 more seconds. Okay, now we're gonna do a straddle. And just a little straddle, not a big straddle. And we're gonna reach to the middle. If you can get your hands flat in the middle, reach them behind you and make sure you're not going to fall backwards. So we're going to hold this one for 30 seconds. Good. Okay. So now we stretched our legs out, worked those calf muscles. We can get started on our skills. So you girls know, once you get to gold and up, you have a customized beam routine. So it means it's your own beam routine, not like we did this year where all the bronzes and all the silvers had their own, had the same beam routine. You will have your own beam routine. I know you girls have asked me before, hey Coach Jill, can I put this in my beam routine once I'm on gold? Now is your time to practice that stuff. If you want to start making up a routine, thinking of poses, when we get back, we'll have lots of time to choreograph routines and work on routines, but I know you girls like doing that, so if you want to start thinking of ideas for your beam routine, poses, maybe a unique skill you can do, like Addison, your back is super flexible. You can do where you lay down on your belly and put your feet over. Cameron, you're super awesome at holding handstands, maybe something with a handstand, so stuff like that. Okay, so for your skills, for gold, you need to have two acro skills. So this year, Abigail and Felicia, you girls did handstands. Silvers, you all did cartwheels. Maddie, you did your back handspring. You're all gonna need another skill. So for instance, you could do a back walkover, you could do a front walkover, you could do a round off, but you'll have to have two of them. So like a cartwheel and a back walkover in your routine, two of them. So I want you to work all the different acro skills on your beam, on your line, because we don't know which ones we're gonna put in our routine yet. So those would be handstands, cartwheels, back walkovers, front walkovers. Cameron, I know you used to like working round-offs. You girls can work round-offs. Lila, I know you have worked back handspring step-outs. If you wanna work back handspring step-outs, you can work those as well. Just make sure you feel safe doing it on, not a spring floor. So make sure you're gonna be safe, you're staying tight. Maddie, you're gonna need a series. So 2 connected skills, like a handstand into a back handspring, or a back handspring connected. So Maddie, I want you to work on that. I don't want you doing back walkovers or front walkovers because I don't want your back bothering you. So let's just go through all those skills together because I went through those really fast. So go to your line, go to your beam. First one is a handstand, Silvers and Maddie. I know you girls have not done these in a while. Felicia and Abigail, you competed these all year, so they're gorgeous. But handstands are still very good to practice because like I said, you need 2 skills. This could possibly be your second one. Make sure we're starting in our lunge and we're teeing out. A lot of us forget and we reach straight down. Make sure we're reaching out. Handstand and finish. And you're trying to get all the way up to vertical and then come back down. That one I didn't get all the way up. We're trying to kick all the way up. So practice 5 handstands. When you are done with that, we're going to move on to our cartwheels. Silvers and Maddie, you've been competing cartwheels all year, so yours are pretty consistent. Abigail and Felicia, I know you've worked them on the high beam, but you've never competed them. So try to do maybe 10 of these or more, just so you can get that consistency down. So for our cartwheel, same thing, we're trying to reach out and finish back on our beam. Just like that, okay? So that's our cartwheels. Try to do 5 of those, nice and square with your hips. The next one is back walkovers. Girls, just do a few of them. I don't want your backs bothering you. Aubrey and Emma, you girls have beautiful back walkovers. They're gorgeous, so keep working hard on those. They're awesome. So back walkovers, front walkovers. If you want, Addison, I thought this would be a good one for you because your back is so flexible. So that's what, Addison, I had you in mind for the front walkovers, but everyone else, you can work those as well. Round-offs. Cameron, I know you have worked those before. Girls, if you want to work round-offs as well, be my guest, go for it. Remember, it's gonna be different than doing it on floor though, because your feet can't really land side by side on the beam. They're gonna hang off, so they need to be one a little bit in front of the other, okay? And then back handsprings, step outs as well, if you feel comfortable doing it. Girls that have an air track, if you wanna do it on your air track. When you're practicing your back handspring step outs, make sure you're trying to get your hands like they would be if they were on a beam. So they look like this, not like that, okay? And it can be either hand. I'm a righty, and I put my right hand in front, but it can be your left hand. It's whatever feels more comfortable for you, so play with both of them. One isn't right or wrong. It's whatever's best for you. So that's back handspring step outs, trying to get our hands there, trying to hold our split in the middle, and finish. Maddie, like I said before, I want you to work on connecting those skills. Handstand step down to the back handspring, back handspring, back handspring. If you feel like you don't have a safe place to do it, don't do it. Just work the handstands and the cartwheels and the other stuff you feel safe doing. So that is your skills for beam. The next thing we're gonna focus on is our jumps. So Felicia and Abigail, you girls did a straight jump this year. Silvers, you did a split jump this year. So now for gold, you're gonna need 2 different jumps. So you're gonna have to do like a split jump and a straight jump, or a split jump and a tuck jump. Maddie, you know you need to connect them like you did your leap to your tuck jump. Same thing for diamond. So all the kind of jumps we can go over, we can do straight jumps, okay? This one is called a beat jump or a twiddle jump. It's just like a straight jump, but your feet move in the air like this. I'm gonna try and see if I can do it. See how my feet moved a little bit? So it goes left, right, back like that. So this is what your legs look like. Jump, switch, switch. Okay, so that's a beat jump. We can do tuck jumps, split jumps, which you girls already know. Your split requirement is a little bit bigger for gold, so really trying to focus on getting a nice big split, finishing with our chest up, okay? Split jumps, we can practice wolf jumps. We don't do those a lot, but easy to do on a line if you're not sure how you do it. I'm a righty, so I had my leg be straight. So whatever your good leg is, that one should be straight. Okay, so those are just some jumps. You can work at home. Try to do 5 to 10 of each. Make sure we're landing back on our line, hips under, nice straight legs, pointing our toes every time we jump. Okay? So that's our jumps. For our turns, we're working on full turns for gold. Felicia and Abigail, I know you only competed a pivot turn this year, so practicing half turns and full turns as well. Okay, so trying to do those on our line and trying to get all the way around. So I'm just gonna do a half turn first and finish. And girls, did you see how I stayed on releve, held it here for a second, and then plied? That's what we're trying to do in our turns. That's to show control. Emma, you have beautiful turns. You're always on high releve and you control it really well. So when you're practicing these on the floor, you don't have to think so much about staying on your beam. It's not as scary. Really focus on keeping your bottom leg straight and holding that releve. So half turns and then our full turns. So see how that one, I didn't quite get the turn all the way around. Make sure you're finishing here. Hold it, plie, and finish. So try to do 5 to 10 of those, finishing on your line. And then the last thing is dismounts, which you can't really do these at home. But for you girls, your dismount's gonna be some sort of front tuck or back tuck off the beam. But you can keep working on your side handstands at home, your quarter turn to see how long you can hold your side handstand. Cameron, I know you can hold your side handstand forever. See how long you can hold it. You can challenge each other, see who can hold it the longest. So that is our beam stuff today. So we're working on our acro skills, our jumps, our turns. If you want to make up a beam routine, make up some poses, we would love to see that when you get back. So have fun with it. Okay girls, so it is time for floor. We are going to start with some handstand walks. So if you don't have like a long space you can do it in, you can do it in place, but I want you to see how long you can do it or how far you can do it. So let's go ahead and kick up to our handstand and practice walking forwards, backwards, like we do it at the gym, trying to get all the way across the floor, practicing forwards and backwards. So that's what we're going to start with. Now the things you can work on at home, I know some of you have air tracks like Emma and Lila and Addison. I feel like you guys have told me you have air tracks at home. So if you do have those set up outside, you can work your tumbling, whatever you feel comfortable with, your round-offs, your back handsprings, your front tucks, your front handsprings, if you feel comfortable doing your back tucks. Addison, your mom sent me a video of you doing your round-off back handspring back tuck on your air track. It was awesome. I was super impressed. Lila, I know you have done your back tucks here before, so if you feel comfortable working those at home, if anyone else has an air track and their skills you feel comfortable working on it, go ahead and try those. If not, we're just gonna go over stuff you can do at home, outside, on the grass, or on a nice soft surface inside your house you can do. So handstand walks are a good one. Handstand holds, seeing how long you can hold it for. Cartwheels, one-handed cartwheels. Also working cartwheels on our not so good legs, so cartwheels on both legs. Aerials, like Felicia and Lila, I know you girls have aerials. If you want to do them on your air tracks, or if you feel comfortable doing them without an air track, those are great to work as well, because those are skills you can compete in your floor routine next year. Cartwheel step-ins. So remember, we start in our lunge, and we step in, and we're trying to finish in our nice tight hollow shape. Round-offs. Remember, same thing with round-offs, we're finishing in a hollow, squeezing. For round-offs, make sure we're stretching out and reaching forward. Just like I talked about for beam, where you're teeing in, same thing with your cartwheels and your round-offs on floor, stretching them out. So those are great things you can do at home. Back walkovers, front walkovers. Again, don't do too many. I don't want your backs bothering you. You can work front handspring step out, front handspring landing 2 feet, back handspring step out, standing back handsprings. Again, we're all kind of at different levels with that, so if you're not comfortable doing it at home, I don't want you trying things you don't feel comfortable with. If you've done it before at home on the grass and you feel okay with it, then go ahead and do it. So those are all the tumbling things you can work at home. The next thing we're going to focus on is our leaps. So for your floor routines, you're still going to have a leap pass, but I want you girls to start working switch leaps. So for your switch leap, Maddie, you know this because you do this in your floor routine already. So switch leap, I'm a righty, okay? So righties, listen up to this. Lefties, I'll go over it for you in a second. So I'm a righty. For a switch leap, I swing my left leg forward, and then it brushes back, and then I open up to my split. So I'm just gonna do it standing so you can see it. So I swing it, and then I split. So left swings, back, and I split. Okay, let me show it one more time. And obviously you're gonna chasse and step into this, but I'm just doing it standing so you can see it broken down. Swing left, just like that. That's for a righty. Lefties, you're gonna swing your right leg forward and then backwards so you do your left split. Okay, so you swing just like that. That one's not as good for me because my left is my not good leg. My right is my good leg. But you get the idea. So you swing right, forward, back, so you get to your left split. Forward, back, left split. And you'll chasse into that. You can work on other jumps out of your leaps. So this year we all competed a tuck jump. Maddie, you did your split jump. You can keep working split jumps out of them. You can work straddle jumps out of them. If you want to work some jump full turns, like we went over earlier for the twisting vault, you can do jump full turns. So any kind of jumps like that, make sure you're bending your knees every time you land. Never ever want to land on straight legs. That's not going to feel good. For your floor routine, everyone is going to do a full turn in their floor routine. Besides Maddie. Maddie, I'll get to you in a second. But full turns, we've worked them before. Here, pull up tall, trying to hold here before I drop, and then finish. It's hard for me to turn the sneakers. Easier without sneakers, but Silvers, you know that you already did a full turn this year. Abigail and Felicia, you did a half turn. It's just adding that extra half to do the full. Maddie, for you, you need a turn that's worth a value of a B. So a full turn is only an A, so you need something a little bit harder. So for you, Maddie, I want you to practice wolf turns. So down like this, and turning, and then turning with your leg up like that. Those are some turns you can play with. Keep focusing on those full turns though, because we still have to do them on beam next year. So wolf turns and leg up here, or it can be back here, it could be bent. Other girls, if you want to work on those turns too, go for it, because you don't just have to do a full turn. If you have another really pretty turn with your leg here or back here, those are great as well. So that's your turns you can focus on. We went over our jumps, went over our tumbling. If you have any ideas for your floor routine, like I said on beam, for choreography or poses, if you want to make up a floor routine at home, if you guys want to video each other and make up floor routines together, I'd love to see them when we get back. We'd all love to see it. So those are things you can work at home. If you have an air track, you can work your tumbling on your air track. If you don't, still plenty of stuff you can work on at home to help you with floor. Okay, so to finish off, we're going to do a few conditioning and strength exercises. We are going to hold a handstand for 30 seconds. It can be against a wall or without a wall. So you can walk if you want to do it without a wall, but we're trying to hold for at least 30 seconds. If you can do longer, that's awesome. So I'm going to do it against a wall. You can do it with your back or with your belly, but one more handstand hold. All right, and we're going to go ahead and pick up. Try to stay up. If you're not doing against a wall, walk those hands, try not to come down. We're halfway done. And come on down, that's 30. If you can do it longer, that's awesome. But like I said before, I wanted to start with 30 since we haven't been to the gym in a while. So the next thing we're gonna do is our leg tightening. And you girls know this is gonna make your hips and right here kind of sore. So don't do this every day, just a few times a week. If you do it every day, your legs are not gonna feel great. So we're gonna sit in a nice tight pike, toes are pointed. Our hands are gonna go by our knees, and we're gonna lift 10 times on each leg, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And did you see how I'm doing it slow? I'm not slamming my foot every time I do it. Okay, let's try our other leg. We're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're really squeezing our legs to keep them as straight as we can the whole time. Now we're gonna do 10, lifting both legs at the same time. This is a little bit harder. Still try to keep your hands by your knees. You can move them a little bit further back and kind of lean back a little bit. See where you need to put them. So we're gonna do 10 of those. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I can already feel it in my hips. Now we're gonna do our straddle. So for this one, you can put your hands in the middle or you can put it next to each leg. It's up to you. So like this when you're doing this leg, like this, or in the middle. So we're gonna do 10 on each leg. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure we're squeezing our legs super straight. And our other leg that we're not lifting is still squeezing. Okay, let's do our other side. We're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna do 10 both legs at the same time. Try to put your hands in the middle for this one. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. So you're really gonna feel that all through here. So it's working those muscles. Not something you should do every day or your legs are gonna be very, very sore. Okay, one more thing I want you girls to try. So we lifted our legs up. Now I want you to see if you can push into the ground and lift your booty off the ground. So you're trying to go here, lift your booty up. It's really hard to do. You girls are gonna be a little bit better at it than I am. But the reason we're doing this is for our press handstands. So you're trying to push into the ground and lift your booty up. If you can lift your booty up, you're trying to lift your legs and your booty at the same time. push up off the ground. If that's kind of tricky, a way to make it easier is you can roll into it. So you roll back, and then you can push. It kind of already gives you that momentum. But we're trying to put our hands on the ground and lift our legs and our booty up at the same time. That's gonna help you with press handstands. So that's just another thing you can do at home to work those leg muscles. So that is it for today. I hope you girls had fun. I miss you all so much. We all miss you. We can't wait to get back into the gym, get ready for the next competition season. Stay safe, stay healthy. Girls, we would love to see updates of your progress. So if your parents want to email us videos or pictures of how you're doing, we'd love to see how you're doing, give you some feedback. So have fun, stay safe, can't wait to see you guys.